It is 1932. America is thoroughly in the grasp of the Great Depression. Times are bleak. Leadership is needed. While Franklin Delano Roosevelt stands poised to offer the country leadership on the political front, Howard Hughes shows the courage and vision to prove that American industry will survive. In a driving pursuit of what has been a lifelong love of aviation, Hughes decides to create an aircraft division from his already successful Hughes Tool Company. Under his direction, the new aircraft division sets up shop in Glendale, California. With a small technical staff, the division vigorously begins to design and develop experimental aircraft. Soon, Hughes unveils a remarkable aircraft, the H-1 Racer. The most technologically advanced aircraft of its time, the Racer, like many Hughes products that would follow, incorporates many design and engineering firsts. Its power retractable landing gear and air-resistant flush riveting set new engineering standards for the aircraft industry. With the barnstorming Hughes at the controls, the Racer gains the attention of the nation, setting numerous world speed records.
He speeds in like a bullet, roaring down with the wind on his tail as he completes the speediest flight coast to coast from Los Angeles to Newark in 7 hours and 28 minutes. He established the previous record, 9 hours and a half. Now he smashed his own mark to bits, cut it by 2 hours, startling the flying world. He averaged 332 miles an hour. Speed king of distance flying, annihilator of space.
America enters the 40s and the war in Europe. Hughes now turns his company's sights to the war effort. Developing radar becomes a main concern of the company. But Hughes also turns to the area of troop transport. With his staff, he designs and builds the largest aircraft ever, the H-4 Hercules flying boat. The legend of the Spruce Goose is born.
The Hughes flying boat with a wing spread of 320 feet. That's greater than the length of a football field. And now comes Howard Hughes to begin the tests. As he is to be the pilot, he checks the controls. The hydraulic controls of this biggest airplane ever built have been the critical question. But now they seem okay, says Howard Hughes. In this 200-ton sky giant at Long Beach, California, a gangway leads to a lower deck. And as we look from the rear to the front, we see the spaces designed to carry 700 persons. Launched from a dry dock, tail as tall as a 5-story building, human figures dwarfed like Howard Hughes there. Then out in open water, a plane so surrounded by controversy that its tests are a headline drama. There was a congressional inquiry into wartime government funds poured into the $25 million flying boat. 18 government millions, 7 millions of Hughes' own money. Many asked, would the giant ever fly? Motors roar, 8 of the most powerful of engines. Howard Hughes at the controls, and he has a vivid memory of all the charges and recriminations. He recalls how at the Senate hearing he made a dramatic declaration about the plane.
I put the sweat of my life into this thing. I have my reputation rolled up in it, and I have stated several times that if it's a failure, I'll probably leave this country and never come back, and I mean it.
Now he's piloting the stupendous flying boat, the huge dimensions of which become more graphic as it passes the warships. These tests, the first, are intended to be no more than runs on the surface, taxiing, picking up speed to see if it feels as if it would lift from the water. Looks as if it wanted to. ruby-toned cameraman Charles Lehman is filming the trials, and Howard Hughes has changed his mind. The monster flying boat seems so ready to rise that he decides to take off, and he lifts the greatest load of aircraft that ever flew. It's a hop for a mile, showing the world's biggest and most controversial plane flying and landing.
After this maiden voyage, the Spruce Goose never flies again. Some say that it is at this point that Hughes begins to make good on his statement to the Senate. In the years that follow, the billionaire is rarely seen in public. It's now 1947. Though Hughes remains in direct control, leadership of the aircraft division is provided by engineers whose aim is technical excellence. Dr. Simon Ramo comes to Hughes from General Electric, and Dr. Dean Woolridge from Bell Labs. These men and their staff build our reputation as the Cadillac of the defense electronics industry. For it is during these years that the division's secondary interest in aviation radio leads the company into the electronics field. Now the aircraft division responds to the Air Force's need for an electronic weapons control system. The world's first air-to-air radar-guided missile, the Falcon, is designed and deployed. 1953, and the successful aircraft division separates from the parent Hughes Tool Company. The Hughes Aircraft Company is a reality. It also becomes clear that although the company's name reflects its famous past, the Hughes Aircraft Company will no longer manufacture aircraft. Also in 1953, Howard Hughes steps out of direct control of operations. He names Pat Hyland, then the president of Bendix, to run the Hughes Aircraft Company. To manage the wide array of projects and programs, Hyland oversees the structuring of the company into its present form, several cooperating groups, with subsidiaries supplying them with the needed components. These are the 6 major groups that make up the Hughes Aircraft Company today. Each has the freedom to operate on its own. Each group is unique. This is the Radar Systems Group located in El Segundo. The Radar Systems Group developed from an early contract to design fire control radar for fighter planes. That's still Radar's main line of work. Today, their radar systems are carried aboard the F-14, the F-15, and the FA-18. With their sophisticated computers, they carry out many duties, including ground mapping and guiding the missiles. The Missile Systems Group is located in Canoga Park with manufacturing facilities in Tucson, Arizona. They build guided missiles and missile systems such as TOW and Roland. They also build the Navy's long-range air intercept missile, the Phoenix, and the AMRAAM, a medium-range air intercept missile for both the Navy and the Air Force. Electro-optical and data systems designs and builds relatively small but very important hardware. Located in El Segundo, the group runs a number of very profitable programs. They are involved in thermal and optical sensors, laser ranging devices, target illuminators and weapons, computers, and display devices such as CRTs, liquid crystals, and light valves or diffraction optics. Our Ground Systems Group is based in Fullerton. After developing a very successful line of radar devices, Ground Systems has gone on to develop complete packages of radar, including signal processors, displays, and command control communications equipment. These systems serve the air defense needs of entire nations. In addition, Ground Systems is very involved in anti-submarine and undersea warfare equipment. This is the Industrial Electronics Group in Torrance. They design and build many of the new and complex components around which Hughes hardware is designed. And their Industrial Products Division in Carlsbad builds products such as the ProBuy, a portable infrared imaging device. The ProBuy and its thermal video system are finding a wide variety of applications in many industries. And finally, the Space and Communications Group in El Segundo. Space and Com started out as the Space Division. And when Hughes engineers invented the spin-stabilized geosynchronous satellite, Hughes became the leader in the very long-distance communications business. Today, a large percentage of the military and commercial satellites in space were built by the Space and Communications Group. And our satellites continue to enjoy an impressive track record. In addition to the ongoing individual research and development programs that exist within each group, there are 2 research labs feeding the product groups with new ideas and technologies. The Santa Barbara Research Center in Goleta and the Hughes Research Laboratories in Malibu. In-house research labs are a rare commodity, even among the ranks of the large aerospace companies. So to have 2 such labs gives Hughes a decided edge. Hughes also owns some small subsidiary companies. These are companies that have highly specialized technologies that Hughes needs. One such company is Spectrolab in Sylmar, California, our main supplier of solar tiles and panels. This is the Hughes Aircraft Company, a community of technical excellence, a company that has always been at the forefront of technology. 1980 sees the retirement of Pat Hyland. Alan Puckett is named chairman of the board. He inherits a company dedicated to technical excellence. And with productivity as his goal, he urges the company to continue to design and build our superior products as cost-effectively as possible. So for the 80s, in radar, missiles, spacecraft, and electronics, Hughes still leads the world in technology. The Hughes Aircraft Company, a unique company. A company founded by a man who wanted to build the best products in the world, wanted to hire the best people, and was willing to spend the money to get the job done. His legacy, the pursuit of excellence, continues today at the Hughes Aircraft Company.